Good morning, Anna.
Good morning, Crystal. Thanks for having me here today.
Thank you so much for doing this with me. And I'm just going to confirm that we are streaming into the On Block Academy, which we are. So here we are with another Feature Friday. Today it is the very vibrant and it's Anna, and she's got one of the greatest attitudes. And I don't know if as anybody's ever told you this before, but you're always so gracious and appreciative, and that you speak so beautifully, and you have a way of communicating and transferring your wisdom, your knowledge, your experiences to audiences. And we'll touch on your podcast and your mission in a little bit, but welcome to your Feature Friday, Anna. And let's start off with sharing a little bit about what was going on for you before we met. What was your life like? What were you like? What were you looking for? What were your challenges? So do you want to just spend a little bit of time just introducing yourself from the perspective of 6 months ago?
Yeah, no, thank you, Crystal. I really appreciate the opportunity, and hi, everybody. So before I was introduced to thinking into results, I'll never forget the day I was sitting in my basement. In my life, I'd always gone through a lot of ups and downs. I had done well, and then I didn't. I had done well, and then I didn't. And I was sitting there on the couch, and I was watching the TV, and Bob Proctor came on. And that was the day that changed my life. When I saw that man speak and the way he spoke, I felt like he was literally talking to me. It was as if he had reached through the TV and grabbed my hand and said, "This is the way. If you're willing and able, I'll show you how to get there." And that was the most profound moment, or one of the most profound moments of my life. So leading forward, I had listened to him. I thought, okay, I've reached great highs, but I've also hit great lows. And I just thought there's got to be a better way to get off this hamster wheel, the cycle of doing great, not doing great, not. And so I took a risk and I got into the 1-year coaching program. And so fast forward 2 years later, I had set my big C goal, but I was having a lot of problems and an immense amount of frustration, and I felt very alone. And my girlfriend had listened to me, and she said, "You've got to meet this lady named Crystal and do a TIR class." And so I thought, okay, this is an opportunity. I'm not meeting it on my own. I should explore this. And so that's when I signed up for the program. And I remember, so I was just in the final stages of reaching my big C goal. This was a huge one. It took me 4 years to achieve. Just put my head down. Bob always said, if you can believe it, you can achieve it. And so I went with that faith. I took his faith and I took it as my own, and I ran with it. So I'll never forget my first phone call with you, Crystal. I finally had somebody that I could share my frustration with. And what was different between speaking with you than speaking to somebody that I knew is they always said to me, "Well, you should just be grateful. Why are you complaining? You have more than so many people." I understand the place that they were coming from, and I understand what they were trying to achieve to get me to think, but it wasn't enough. The issue with me wasn't the lack of gratitude. It was the lack of understanding. And what I'm so grateful for is that these challenges are my best opportunities. So meeting with you, you were the first person that didn't say to me, "Oh, you should be so grateful for what you have. You've worked so hard. You have this. I don't have that." You said to me, "You know what, Anna? I understand. You're feeling exactly the way you should. This is exactly where you're supposed to be. If you didn't have these feelings, then, I would kind of be questioning what's going on. Was your goal big enough?" You asked me what my aha moment was. That's my aha moment. I said, "Who is this woman? Why is she speaking to me this way? I've gone my whole life. Nobody's ever talked to me this way. I felt the same impact I did when I was sitting on that couch, and I felt that Bob was coming through me right through the TV. It was such an emotional and mental impact that you gave me that day. I had to know more. I had to know who this woman was, what she was doing. How did she have this understanding that I was lacking? And I knew that what I was going to learn that day would unlock the keys that would free me from that perpetual frustration and just angst that I had towards what I was trying to achieve and the life that I was wanting to live. And it took me a long time to get to you, but I'm very grateful for that, because every single challenge has brought me my greatest joy, and it helps me fulfill the more meaning and the greater and fuller expression of who I am.
And this is why you are releasing a podcast, because I can sit here and I can just get so lost in your story and in your words and the way that you express yourself and how you communicate this. You're so gifted in this way, and it brings me so much joy just to sit on this side and listen to you share all aspects of your journey. And the one thing that I heard the loudest and the clearest, and I'm sure anybody watching, is it's not that a lot of us lacked the knowledge or the education or the gratitude, or that we had good attitudes, but the one thing that we all lacked was understanding. And that leads to uncertainty, doubt, fear, anxiety, frustration, dissatisfaction, all these things that are not creative, that literally keep us stuck and block us, right? And so understanding is the key to freedom. And when we get that, it's like the entire universe opens up, because our entire consciousness and mind and belief system and perception opens up, right? And it doesn't mean that our frustrations go away or that we don't have challenges. It means that we still succeed, develop through them, but in a way that we had never known before, right?
Exactly. And that's what the biggest takeaway for me so far with the Thinking into Results program has brought me. Because we had discussed, we get into paradigms, and that was the missing piece of the puzzle. It's like trying to drive a car on three wheels. I was constantly on the road on three wheels, and I was just thump, 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 all the way through life. And the Thinking into Results program really got to the core of what was holding me back, what was blocking me, or just that missing piece to give me the flow, to give me the ease, to provide the open road and open space where I could really propel myself and really feel unshackled to explore all that life has to offer and all of God's creation. And Bob says we are God's highest form of creation. I've heard these words over and over and over again for years, but never really felt that impact and never really got the full meaning of what he was speaking about, because I was in a car with three wheels.
Yeah.
And this program gave me the opportunity to really explore what that was. And every time I spoke with you, Crystal, I'm like, my life is hard. I have so much work to do. Things aren't going my way. Poor me, poor me, poor me. And I never had anybody really call me out on that. I didn't have somebody that said, I'm kind of listening to what you have to say, and I keep seeing a little bit of, a consistency here in some of your language and some of your words. And I'm kind of noticing that there just seems to be a bit of a theme to what you're saying. And every time I would send an email or get on a call and complain, it's always that my life is hard. I have to work so many hours. Why don't I get to sit around like everybody else? Poor me, I don't have this. Poor me, poor me. And, I can laugh now. And I remember watching a video with Sandy, and she was talking about being on that hamster wheel, and she spoke about being a lawyer, and she laughed. And I finally had that same moment where she was discussing, she goes, you know, I just thought if I got that next client, if I just build a few more hours, you know, things would get better. And that was the story of my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I had that aha moment where I was a victim of my own mind and I was a victim of my own self.
Yeah. Yeah. It is so true. And for those that, you know, haven't gotten there, it's really hard for them to embody this, because the thing of it is that we're not on a hamster wheel. Like we, back before we, you know, woke up and figured this stuff out, we were not only the hamster, but we were the wheel. We were the wheel for our own self. And it's really having that aha moment and breaking away from that paradigm, that pattern of thinking. Because that's all it is. The wheel, the hamster wheel is there because of our settings in our mind. We change the settings in our mind, and all of a sudden that wheel is momentum rather than start, stop, or hard, and all this kind of stuff, right? Yeah, that is awesome. You
Exactly.
know, it reminds me of this saying that says, friends don't let friends stay in their comfort zone, but the bugger is most of your friends are a part of your comfort zone. And it's true, right, Anna? It's like the people around us are a part of our current belief system and mindset and paradigm. And so when we talk to them about our problems, it's not that they're bad people. It's just that they are a reflection of our current mindset. So we're not going to get the advice, the feedback, the guidance that's going to help us pull away from that comfort zone, because it is the comfort zone.
Exactly. And that's why this program was so incredibly profound
Yeah.
and is such a gift. It truly, truly is. It's speaking the truth of how to live, and it's giving you the tools, and it's teaching you about the laws.
Yes.
And through learning the power of the laws of life that are fact, not,
Yes.
you know, not the stories that you tell yourself. And that again is one of the biggest lessons that I've learned, which helped move me through the process and gave me the understanding to move through that life isn't hard. It doesn't have to be unless I choose it to be. That is a choice, and that is a fact. Once you learn the laws and you become empowered in knowing what life really is, and you actually start to think. And that was my problem. I was living from the outside, not living from the inside. And taking responsibility for my thoughts has been the most life-changing experience. It put the wheel back on my car. That was what I was missing. If I don't like my current existing reality, or if something isn't quite the way I want it, or I realize that through that contrast, I want something better and I want something new, I now, myself, inside myself, have the tools and the capability and the responsibility that I'm able to achieve that, because I can build a new model inside my mind. And that is what everybody, you know, we all have that. We all possess that gift. We all possess that possibility and reality, and you can make it happen. I'm making it happen. Crystal's making it happen. We all are every single day. Think the new model first. Feel the new model that you see inside your mind when you're quietly with yourself and you close your eyes and you just have that where you're like, wow, that would be so amazing. If you can feel that, you can achieve that, and you can have it, and you can make it real. Because the minute you think it and you feel it, it is real. And Crystal, that's again the next missing piece.
Yep.
That changes everything for me, because it is real. And then I can follow that feeling. And that's
Yes.
what Bob always talks about. Success leaves clues. The feeling is the clue. And that's what I was missing as well. That's what the first year didn't teach me, is that success leaves clues. Well, where's my clues?
I know.
Like I was on an Easter egg hunt and I didn't know where the eggs were.
Uh-huh. And
The
they're all within.
feeling,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, the feeling is the clue. So
But you know how many, Anna, and you know, we all lacked awareness, right? But you know, and I can relate to this. We all thought that success leaves clues. It meant how you do something, a strategy, or like it meant something in the physical, but that's not what it means at all. Success leaves clues means follow the feeling. Your feelings are telling you if you're on the right track or not. And we all have to do the inner work if we want our outer world to shift or change or improve in any way. So I love that you brought that up as well, because I know so many people are going to be relating to this. And one thing that you touched on as well, you touched on so many great points, was responsibility, right? Responsibility being our power. And when we claim responsibility for every thought, feeling, action, and result in our life, that's when we step into our greatness and step into our power. And we're responsible for learning the laws. We're responsible for understanding the operations of our mind and how all this works, because nobody else is responsible for that, and unless it's us, right? So, okay, so now, oh, I almost feel like we need to do a series with you, and I know, let's talk about your podcast, because that is on your radar as a C goal, and you're very, very close to achieving yet another C goal. So share a little bit about the inspiration, the mission, the vision for your podcast.
Yeah, I've got a couple, but yeah, the main thing is just, helping people get unstuck. I've been a single mom. I know what it's like to be a single mom, and I know what we face as women is different. It's no greater, no better than a man. It's just different.
Yeah.
And so I think that, there's a lot of opportunities, but this one, I just really want to touch on being a woman and just speaking to women, that maybe are sitting in a basement suite with their kids and they just don't feel that there's any way out. And, Crystal, you and I, so many women, we're examples. And I'm so grateful that I've had such a vast amount of contrast. And that's what I want to help women celebrate. If you are one of those ladies, that has gone through relationships, has gone through careers and jobs, and is sitting and looking at your children, you are in the best place humanly possible. I always thought that living in contrast meant there was something wrong with me. Yeah. Oh, I couldn't get that relationship. I just, I've gone through a bunch of different careers, and now I'm sitting in this basement suite. And everybody said, well, if you had just done something right, you would have married well. All of those things that people say. And what I've learned through my contrast is that this is a good thing. Be proud that you came into this physical body and that your spirit was strong enough and willing to take on that level of contrast. You are an amazing human being, and you are an incredible woman, that you are taking on this life and these human beings, and you are being an example for so many people. Don't let the world beat you down. Take that contrast, learn who you are, love who you are, and go out into the world with these tools and these lessons. And I know that the only way to change the world is to change ourselves. But when you really change who you are, you're going to inspire those people that look up to you and that need you and love you. And that you are a child of God, and you will create and do anything that you put your mind, heart, and soul to. Just give yourself the chance. Feel that contrast. Be proud of that contrast. Don't let anybody put you down.
Anna, you have a gift. You have an exceptional gift and an incredible talent. And there's so much there's so much for you for ahead of you. I'm like losing my words because I can see, this next year, 2024 is just you're going to shock yourself. You really, really are. And things are going to start to light up and fall into place. And they already have, they're already here. It's already done, right? So have fun. So with that being said, Anna, is there anything that else, because you have left us with so much wisdom and grace, is there anything else that you would like to share from your experience, or that you would like to leave with everybody that has shown up to hear you speak today?
I'm just thinking, if you are in a place of contrast, mm-hmm. The Thinking into Results program, it really truly is the way. And when I'm just, it's so profound. Yeah, sorry, I'm at a loss for words. Yeah. Feeling like a victim will set you free. Whatever you're feeling right now will set you free. And yeah, it truly will set you free. And I remember every time I've come onto a coaching call, share your feelings. I remember after a few coaching calls, I was like, oh my goodness, I said that. That's going out to the world. Good.
Yeah.
And what that first set of feeling, that paradigm comes up where I'm like, oh no, did I embarrass myself?
Yeah.
No, because what I just shared, I bet you there's at least how many thousands of people sitting watching going, I feel exactly the same way.
100%. 100%.
Yeah, I feel exactly the same way.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm learning, is that by staying small and by not sharing and by not participating and not living life and hiding, I'm actually disservicing everybody on the planet. And I'm disservicing myself by hiding and by feeling afraid. And when you take that leap and when you take that step out into the unknown, there are so many lives that you're going to impact, and that gives you greater service and greater fulfillment. And if you want to feel empowered and have purpose, what greater purpose is there than to have gone through all this contrast and just hold it to yourself and just keep it selfishly to yourself? What a great disservice to the world and to everything, you know, for myself, for everything that I've gone through. If I was to just hold it my whole life, what a sad place that would be.
Yeah.
And it's almost like I'm selfishly keeping my wins to myself. Well, maybe there's somebody that feels the way I do. Maybe there's somebody that's living the way I was, and they're desperately sitting there trying to find a way out. And all they're hearing is, well, you should be so grateful. That's not going to help them. Maybe something I'll say will give them a spark of hope, and even take steps towards finding this program, or take steps to go, you know, I can, and I will, and I'm able, and I want to. I don't want to live like this anymore.
Yeah.
I'm done. And, you know, the minute you start this program, the minute you call someone like Crystal and you say, you know what, enough is enough, I want to change, that's when you're able to move into your true power and your true self. And, you know, we have all those excuses. We have all those reasons. I don't have the money, or da 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 da.
Oh, yeah.
The list goes on and on and on.
Yeah.
But what you need to remember is this is for you. These opportunities are for you. And I know, because I sat there, I was one of those people who was like, I don't know if I can do this. You know, I mean, there's,
I know,
you know, I have,
yeah.
right? We've all
You almost
been
wiggled
there.
off the hook a couple of times, right? And I was like, no, not going to happen today, Anna.
Or ring you in like a fish, right?
Yeah.
And so that I would say would be the biggest takeaway, is if you were like me and you were trying to skirt away and run away, and you got to watch those paradigms. They really like to hold you where you are. They like to keep you stuck.
It's their only job.
It's their only job. And I remember when I was talking to Dave and Todd on one of the calls, and they said, love that part of yourself, because that part kept you safe. It kept you alive in old situations, but it's not serving you anymore.
Right. Yes. So
Let it go.
Anna, so good. You know, it was that single mom paradigm that came into play for me too, when you know, I had a decision to make, and it was like, you're a single mom, you don't have that kind of money, what are other people going to think? They're going to think you're crazy. All this kind of stuff came up for me too. But I was like, no, at that enough is enough moment. And if I don't change, and what I'm doing is not working, you know, and if I don't change, nothing's going to change. And I follow that feeling. That feeling is never going to take us down the wrong path. It's just not. But we just have to have courage to follow it, because it's going to take us down a path that we've never been, and everything is different. And so everything looks scary, because of course anything different is perceived as scary, right? And so we have to be fearless in feeling that. Oh, it's just so beautiful. You know, I've always said this, that we've been given certain pains to fuel our passion, and you are doing that. You are taking the pain, you are taking the parts of you that were the hardest, and you're fueling your passion with it to help others who are in those circumstances, in that pain, in that doubt, in that frustration. And your message is, hey, look, I've been there, and if I can do this, so can you. And you have the tools and you have the experiences to really help others. And I encourage you all to continue to follow Anna and follow us here with her journey. And when her podcast launches, we'll be sure to let you all know about that. And the one thing that you said was hope. At the very least, if we can all just hang on to a little bit of hope that things can get better, that things that will get better, then all of a sudden we shift our perspective and our thinking to better. So with a little bit of hope that you can give, that you gave, Anna, I mean, you changed lives today. You really changed lives today. And every day that we make the most of ourselves, we make this world better.
Thanks, Crystal. It's like I said, it's an honor and a privilege to be here and to share and to be a part of this group. So thank you. Thank you for allowing me.
Thank you, Anna. And I'm serious. I think that we should turn this into a bit of a series, whether it's on your podcast or whether it's a combination. I once had this idea and I never acted on it. And maybe it was given to me just to kind of wait to do a series of single moms can be six-figure income earners too. And we're both living proof. And that's, so maybe there's something there too that we can work on and collaborate with.
It would be a privilege and an honor. I would really love to do that. And yeah, this is why we're doing what we're doing, Crystal. This is why, if there aren't women that are willing to go out and take those risks, why would any of us do it? We would all still be staying in those basements with our kids.
100%.
Why? What's the point? And it is my responsibility as a woman and as a human being. I would love to do that with you because we need this as women. I felt so low and so down and so alone. And I want to take on more, and I hope I can take on more with you so that I can show women we can do more. And we are doing more. We're doing more every single day. And if we want to change the world, we got to show our kids that we can do it. We have to be that example. And those young people are going to go, you know what? If she can do it, I'm going to do way more because they're taught the tools. When I know the tools, I'm passing down a different way of life to my kids. Yeah, I can't teach somebody something that I don't know and I don't possess.
And that you don't become and do. Here's the thing, guys, that we can tell our friends, our kids, that they can be anything they want. Never give up on yourself. Go after your dreams. But if we're not living, if we're not that path, we are not that living proof, evidence, and example, those words mean nothing. And so we want to be out there chasing our dreams, achieving our dreams, growing, expanding, whatever our dreams are, to show whether it's our kids or our community or whoever that, hey, this is not just stuff that we say to make you feel good. This is real.
No,
you just need to know
exactly.
Yeah.
And the thinking into results is the roadmap. That is the key that gives people the tools to go out and do it. Exactly like you said, you can think something all you want, or sorry, not thinking something, but you can say something all you want. You need that roadmap. And thinking into results, that is the roadmap. That's the way to go out and do it. Yes. And yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, Anna. Okay, let's mastermind, collaborate. Get together. Let's create something that is going to change the world for many, many women and many, many families and beyond. Yes, let's do it. Thank you, Anna. Have a great rest of your day. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. And we will, let's plug the Christmas party. Speaking about the laws, next Friday is our Christmas party, and we're going to be streaming The Science of Getting Rich with Bob Proctor. And we're reducing the 2.5-day event to a 1-day event. So we're going to bring the best of the best. We'll be doing some giveaways and some gifts. It's fun, it's festive, but it's Unblock Academy style. So we're looking forward to that. And Anna, you're able to come, I think?
Yes, I'll be there.
You'll be there. Cool. All right. Have a great weekend, everyone. Thank you so much, Anna. You are truly gifted and such an inspiration. And I cannot wait to collaborate with you more on this mission and vision. Okay.
Thanks, Crystal. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.